Hey guys, welcome back to Our Wyoming Life. My name is Mike and we are still haying. This is haying 2022. I'm in a tractor today, the 4055, running the baler right back there behind us. And our goal for today is to finish up our 160-acre hayfield. That's what we're working on. But since I'm stuck in the baler, there's not a whole lot that I can really get out and show or do except for fly the drone around and talk a little bit about what we're doing. Like that, we get stopped here really quick. I just sucked up a rock into the baler, so we're gonna go back and get that cleared out. That's what all that beeping was about. We'll get that fixed up, and then we'll get back to what we're doing. This field is pretty sparse. In fact, Jeff is actually out here raking together multiple windrows in order to keep the mileage or the hours down on the baler. Our baler uses the most fuel of anything that we've got out here, and we want to make sure that we're efficient as possible. So we are raking windrows together in order to make that possible. I'll show you that here in just a minute. But we've got this rock stuck up in here we got to find and we got to dig out. For that, I actually use my trusty crowbar, and there's really only a couple places that rocks will get stuck. So I'm just gonna move some of this hay out of the way that's stuck in here, and I can actually already see our problem. So I'm gonna reach in here with this crowbar and try to dig it out. And there it is, our rock. If I can get it. We're going to take it with us because one less rock is, well, one less rock. So since I'm stuck in the tractor today, and really the only thing that's going to happen is I'm going to get rock stuck occasionally, we thought earlier on in the week, and with the holiday weekend and everything else, that we would do a little Ask Me Anything, a little Q&A as we're out here haying. So for the last few days, we've had people asking questions on our Patreon page, as well as the Our Wyoming Life YouTube channel, the community page. People have been posting questions. Now, I got 24 pages of questions once I printed them all out. Erin was nice enough to go through those and whittle them down to about 10 or 11 questions for me, and there's a question there for her and a question for the kids as well that we're going to go back and see how they answer some of these questions. But to get us started, let's take a look at the list. It's right here. And the very first question comes from Val Frazier. What kind of snacks do you have in the tractor while you're driving around for hours and hours? I can't really speak for Jeff because I don't know what Jeff has in his tractor. In fact, here comes Jeff right now. Let's take a look and we'll give him a little wave. I don't know if he's going to be able to see us as he comes by. He's up there on the hill. Well, I can't speak for Jeff. I can speak for myself. For years, what I always carried in the tractor was beef jerky. Now, fortunate for me, we actually make our own beef jerky. Hold on, I'm about ready to make a bale. Oh, we're beeping. That means we've got a bale ready to eject. Give it a second to wrap. There we go, it's done. Out it goes. So anyway, as I was saying, we used to make sure that I had beef jerky from the gas station or wherever it was, but now we make our own beef jerky. This is Our Wyoming Life beef jerky. It makes my life so much easier because I can just get it for myself. So that's my go-to snack, a little bit of beef jerky. as I'm out on the road. That's good. Good news for you is that beef jerky is now on sale on our website, 10% off, along with all of our merchandise, including t-shirts, drinkware. In fact, we have brand new Our Wyoming Life water bottles that we brought out just for haying. I carry these in the tractor with me also. We've got all that available on our website, 10% off. Go check it out, ourwyominglife.com. All right, so Val, now you know exactly what I like to have in the tractor during haying. Our Wyoming Life beef jerky. Another question from a Patreon supporter from Dave. What is one thing that you wish you could purchase regardless of cost for the ranch? Right now, I've actually been thinking about this a lot for the last couple days. I'm not really too convinced on the efficiency of our Rouse mower and how well it's doing on the grass. I think it's affecting our production a little bit. If I could get anything out here right now, it would probably be a decent swather or possibly like a mower conditioner that could go behind the tractor. That would probably be on the top of my list, but it's always changing because it depends on what we're doing. I don't know. For now, that's on my wish list. One more question to answer here before we head off to the kids and get one of their questions answered. This one from Matthew, another Patreon supporter. What goes into maintaining the roads around the ranch? How often do they require work, grading, gravel, etc.? Matthew, it really kind of depends. It depends on the weather, honestly. So if we get a lot of storms, if we get a lot of rain, yeah, right, then that can really affect how well our roads do. But the nice thing is that we do have the oil wells that you can see down there, way down there. The companies that run those oil wells do tend to maintain most of the oil field road. That's what we call the main road through the ranch. So that's part of their contract that they have with Erin's mom in order to operate their oil wells here on the ranch. They maintain the road for us, which works out great. But yeah, it's usually once every few years do we have to get them graded or re-graveled, and not a whole lot of traffic on them, so that makes it a little bit easier. I'm sitting at 55 inches on this bale. We got just a couple more seconds here before we're going to spit out another bale. And while we're working on the end of this bale, it's probably a good time to head back to the main ranch and check on the kids with their question of the day. And that question is this. Tim Norman actually is curious if the kids are looking forward. I gotta stop for a bale. Tim is curious if the kids are looking forward to taking over the ranch duties as they get older, or are they looking to get into other careers as both of you had prior? What is the one item the kids want to help out with on the ranch as they get older, and why? So let's check in with the kids and get their answer to that very question. Okay, Gwen, go.
Hi, I'm Mackenzie.
Hi, I'm Grace.
Hi, I'm Ingrid.
And when I grow up, I want to be a veterinarian, and if I work on the ranch, I would work with cattle and horses. Gracie, what would you do?
When I grow up, I want to work at an animal shelter, and to help on the ranch, I want to work with the farm store and the garden.
Lincoln, what about you?
I don't know.
You don't know what you want to be when you grow up?
No.
What would you do here on the ranch? When, like, where you work? Will you work here on the ranch?
Yeah.
What would you work with?
Kitties.
Kitties.
That's a really good answer, and an answer that I probably didn't quite expect, but you know, kids, what can you do? Our next question comes from Wendy, and Wendy wants to know, why doesn't the rain hurt the bales as they set out in the field? Won't they mold or rot? That's actually a huge concern, something we're constantly looking out for, but the nice thing is that when we put our bales up, we're going for a pretty dry grass. We're baling anywhere between 14 to 16% moisture, so the grass is really dry to start with. Net rat helps, just like this bale over here. All that net wrap tends to move the water, the snow, whatever may be sitting on it, right off without soaking in. But there is still a fear or even a threat of mold or anything like that. That's just something we really got to keep an eye out. But making sure that we have the driest grass possible when we put it up. Not too dry, don't want it to fall apart, but we definitely want it to be dry so that it doesn't mold or rot. Our next question comes from C. Morrison on YouTube. Hi Mike, it's nice to see the ranch having a good year. My question is, what is one job that you do every day that is your favorite job on the ranch? You know, honestly, my best part of almost every single day, besides the tour, because I really do like doing the tour. Hold on, we're gonna make another bale here in 1 second. Getting ready, here it comes, getting close. Out she comes. So I really enjoy doing the tour every single day. That's one of the highlights of my day, getting out and showing people exactly where their food comes from and the families behind it. But the single best part of my day is that part of the day before the tour. And that's when I get a chance to go out and we kind of do it, we kind of call it a life check. We go through it, I kind of check all the animals ahead of time, make sure there's no problems, because you sure as heck don't want somebody coming through on the tour and finding an animal that's sick or possibly even passed away, right? So that is probably my favorite part of the day. I get a chance to hang out with the animals, I go see the emus, I go see the pigs, I go see whatever there is, and it's just my time to go out and enjoy that part of my day. Our next question comes from Karen. How many times a week or month do you check the fencing on your ranch? Do you ever find cattle or wildlife trapped or wrapped inside the fence? So pretty much we try to check the fence as much as possible. We're getting ready to make another bale, guys. Let's get ready to pump this one out. Hold on. I didn't do as good on that one. A little wobbly. Little lopsided bale. We check the fences as much as possible. We check them probably at least once a week, but we're not checking all the fence, honestly. We do try to take a look at every single fence that we drive around and every single fence that we can. But we do check the fence before any animals go into every single pasture. So as they're moving, we're checking fence, making sure everything's okay. Have we ever had animals wrapped in the fence? Heck yeah, we have. Everything from antelope to owls, and it's always a shame when that happens. This is a lot of fun, guys. I appreciate you letting me do this. Our next question comes from Garrett on YouTube. Howdy Mike, I've been a subscriber for a long time, and first I want to say I really enjoy how you're able to bring to light all the work that goes into growing our nation's food. It's hard to read while I'm bouncing around. My question is, how large of a herd do you hope to grow into as your new business model continues? Will we see you get out back up to 100 head herd once again? That's a great question, because obviously the land is set to, support up to about 150 cows. The nice thing is, I don't think we have to be there. Not yet anyway. I think our next step is to build the herd back up to about 75 animals and see how that does. I think that one thing that a lot of people get in trouble with doing, especially when you change business plans or models or you start doing something different, people go too fast forward. They move too fast and they get themselves in trouble. So our goal is to grow somewhat slowly in the aspect of being able to sell beef and pork online, which you can do. You can buy beef and pork online with us, but we don't want to go too fast with it. We don't all of a sudden want to ramp up to finishing 10 or 20 cows a month. We don't want to do that. What we want to do is make sure that we're able to support what we can, and we're going to do that slowly. So 75 is our next goal. We'll see what happens after that. Alrighty, I've got one more question here to answer before we're going to send it back down to the main ranch for Erin to answer her question of the day. This one from Mo One Plane. Hey Mike, I was just wondering how far you have successfully shipped in order of your beef. Is San Diego within range of your beef shipments? Thanks Mike, I look forward to your videos. This kind of ties into our last question, doesn't it? Oh, another bale getting ready to pop out here. Just put this on pause for 1 second. So we'll get this bale taken care of. So we do ship beef all over the U.S. In fact, all of our beef is shipped second day air through UPS. We've shipped beef to Alaska. We've shipped beef to Hawaii, all within 2 days. We ship with dry ice, so we make sure it's still frozen when it gets to your door. Alrighty guys, time to head back down to the main ranch. Erin's got a really, a question that's been on her mind for a couple days. The question is this: you cut down your herd so you could be more cost efficient, but buying animals like emus, goats, and donkeys, doesn't that defeat the purpose? That question from Charming Chowder, and Erin definitely has an answer to that question.
So we do get asked all the time, what is the purpose of these guys and why aren't we milking them, and are they going to be raised for meat? They're pets. They're purely for fun. I mean, I guess, like, what's the point? Because I can, right? So some people can have hobbies. You might have a boat. I mean, whatever you guys want to spend your money on, like, nobody cares, right? This is what we want to do with our money right now. The other thing is everything's for sale. So if you want to buy Ethel, like, she's for sale. She's going to cost a lot because I love her and I want her to stay here on the ranch. But for the right price, like, any of these guys would be for sale. The other thing is that we monetize things in non-traditional ways. So the farm store and the petting zoo that we built to go along with the farm store, that's monetizable. So we had our best 30 days of sales that we've ever had since we opened the farm store in 2019 in the month of June. We opened the petting zoo in June, so I would like to think that these guys are a part of that. They're bringing new faces from our community out. Kids are getting to pet the goats. They're getting to meet Ethel. Adults enjoy it just as much as kids do. Lots of people have come out for the first time because I'm posting on social media that we have a petting zoo and it's free and you can come see the animals. So just because it's not a traditional farm or agriculture product of milk or meat doesn't mean that it's not monetizable and that it's not making us money. Because these guys are making us money. And I enjoy them. And so I'm going to keep collecting animals. So, to answer your question, because I can.
Alrighty, Erin, tell them how you really feel. Guys, this has been a lot of fun. I really do appreciate it. I'm down to my very last question. This one from Bill Taylor, a Patreon supporter. You can also support us on Patreon for as little as $1 per month, and you get access to be able to order beef and pork from us, which we can ship as far away as Alaska and Hawaii. As long as you're within the United States, we can get it to you. Bill's question is this: how are you feeling about the decision to go direct to consumer operation now that you have several months in? Anything you'd change or do differently? I think you've all done an amazing job with the transition. Keep it up. Well, thank you very much, Bill. We really do appreciate it. Obviously there are growing pains that happen with a lot of different things as we move forward, but honestly, like, I feel like we're on the right track. I do. I think that, there's obviously growing pains that we have. We run out of boxes, we run out of liners, we can't get enough dry ice. But really, none of that is our fault, right? It's just things that happen. And honestly, we have the best subscribers, the best Patreon members, the best supporters that we could ever ask for to be able to start this kind of adventure in our lives. Being able to move away from the traditional cow-calf operation, to move away from the auction system altogether, is something that has freed the ranch, that allows us to all of a sudden do things that we really didn't think we'd be able to do before. Being able to ship beef and pork directly to the end consumer, to have people know where their food comes from, because really that's all we've been talking about for years. And now we're actually able to kind of put our money where our mouth is and do it like we're supposed to. Like somebody did it 100 years ago, and now we're doing it exactly the same way. Every day on the tour, I go into our sale barn, where I get a chance to show people where people used to come and buy their beef. They didn't buy a steak in the farm store, they bought a whole cow, and they took that thing home and they did whatever they had to do it to make sure that they could feed their family. Whether they butchered it or they kept it to raise more animals, that was their decision. And us being able to do that once again, just like they did in 1932 here on the ranch, really does mean a lot to me. And I know it means a lot to Erin. I know it means a lot to our kids. I know it means a lot to Jeff and everybody else that's ever stepped foot here on the ranch. So guys, Bill, I gotta tell you, I don't have any regrets. I don't see, you know, there are places where I think we could have improved along the way, but every single mistake does help you do it better in the future. And that's the way you gotta look at it, because nobody's perfect right out of the gate. Well, some people are, but I guess I should keep my mouth shut on that front. So we are gonna hang things up there. I've got a bunch more baling to do. We've got a bunch more haying to do. I've got videos on the way where we're gonna take a look at our production. We're gonna see exactly how we did, how our estimates did. Now I can tell you this much. Did a video a few weeks ago. I went out and I did our hay production estimate. I was a little high, I'll admit it. I came out and I didn't figure on the fact that, you know, you don't pick up every single blade of grass out here. And we may have some efficiency problems that we're gonna have to look at here in the future. But I think that you will be surprised to know how much hay we've gotten off the ranch and how much hay really matters, the difference between buying it and making it yourself. There's nothing even to compare as we dig out another bale here on the ranch. And guys, that's pretty much it for today. Thanks for coming along, exploring the ranch life and escaping the ordinary along with us. Be sure to go to the website, check out OurWyomingLife.com. 10% off all beef jerky, along with merchandise, including apparel, shirts, hats, all that kind of stuff. And of course, the brand new water bottles that we have available on our website as well. I'm gonna keep on bailing and cruising right along, eating my beef jerky and living the best life that I can. Obviously, this field looking pretty sparse, so I'm hoping I don't get a whole bunch of comments where people say, oh my gosh, there's no bales out in that field. There's not that many. But like I said, every 30 bales that we can make saves us $5,000 in buying the hay, including transport costs coming up this fall. So we're gonna make all the bales we can, and we're gonna make it while the sun shines. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. We'll see you next time right here on Our Wyoming Life.